All right, now this week we want to focus on what they call the fat burning zone. Okay, now you have to have done last week effectively in order to make this week work the best. So there's two components that you really need to nail. By this stage, you should be starting to have just a little bit more protein in your diet and just a little bit less carbohydrates. And you should have done 3 days of exercise last week. Okay, so this week, the exercises you're going to do are going to be slightly different to last week, okay, and it's going to focus on increasing your heart rate a little bit, all right, so we can start to promote further increase of your metabolism, but also get you into what we call that fat burning zone, okay. Now, this is determined by your heart rate, so it's around about 140 to 150 beats per minute for your heart rate. So the trick to effective exercise increasing your metabolism is you need to have your heart rate up and you need to promote lean muscle mass growth, okay? Now, you're not going to get huge and build loads of muscle, but you will gain a little bit of lean muscle, which means your immune system will be stronger, you'll be fitter, you'll be healthier, and you'll also find it easier to lose body fat. So the thing you need to do is, whilst you're doing your exercise, if you find you're gassed, you're getting really tired, really fatigued, and it's really hard, you need to tone it back a bit, because you should be able to go through this full program without stopping. Okay, now how you tone it back is just do 75% of the reps. So if it says 20 reps, then scale it back to 15, okay? And if that's still too much, then bring it back halfway. But you want to make sure you're going through the program consistently without too much rest, so you're able to maintain that 140 to 150 heart rate, okay? So you can promote that fat loss and you can get great results, basically. So you need to keep doing what you've done last week, making sure your protein is on the rise and the carbohydrates are on the drop. Now, if you do start to get some cravings or you start to get sick of eating meat, then you can start to add in some plant-based fats. So this is like nuts, coconut oils, plant oils, okay, olives, what else? I think that's about it off the top of my head. You want to try to increase that a little bit, okay, to help with the cravings. I recommend you have them earlier in the day, like breakfast, morning tea, or lunch at the latest, because that will set your, without getting too complex, set your blood sugars up so you're a little bit more on an even keel through the rest of the day. So to sum it up, this week you want to make sure that when you do your exercise, you're able to go through it consistently, non-stop. If you can't, bring the reps down by 25% or 50% if you really, really need to. Number one. Number two is you want to maintain that high protein, lower carb diet. Again, it doesn't have to be drastic, but just a slight increase of what you were doing last week. 5 to 10%. It doesn't need to be a huge shift. We want to make sure this is achievable and doable, but also brings great results as well. Now, if you're getting cravings and you're unsure of how much fat or what to have, then send me a message, okay, or hit the hashtag, all right? Body Confidence 4-week program, and then I'll actually reach out to you, get back in touch with you through one of the posts or through a direct message. You get a better response and faster to make sure that you stay on track, you support it, and by the end of this 4 weeks, you get some epic results. Don't forget to look out for my emails, be in touch with you every couple of days so we can go through this together, make great progress, and at the end of it, you're finally where you wanted to be, and you're actually starting to really, really move forward. I'll see you guys very, very soon. Have an epic week. Until then, live body confident.